That's why black women don't need a man. Because if I gotta wait on you to do something that you said you were gonna do, and then you don't do it, now I'm left with everything to have to pick up the pieces, and I'm at 100% fault because nobody really cares that you didn't show up.
Yeah.
They only care that my child is still at the daycare because you said you're gonna pick him up. Don't nobody care where you at. But the woman has to do. All right, now I gotta get off work. I gotta go pick up my child. Now I gotta take hours off of work. Now because I took hours off of work, I can't pay the light bill because I'm $50 short because I had to take those hours off. And now I gotta ask my mama for help, and she looking at me like I'm stupid. Why you need to pay your bills? Wait, he said he was gonna do this. He fell through, but it's my fault because I can't pay my bill because I had to get off work because you didn't pick her up. Like,
yeah. Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back. It's your girl Trish.
Welcome back. And your boy Mr. Defined.
And we are
Black Press.
Thank you for coming back. Thank you for supporting our channel.
Yeah, one part right there.
I was gonna say page, but
yeah,
because I was just scrolling. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thank you for coming back. Thank you for supporting us. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and
subscribe.
Yes, and tell somebody about it.
Sure.
So we're gonna hope all of you are well. Make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna jump into it.
Yeah, first I want to say happy first week. Hope everybody enjoyed your first week of 2023. Hope it was progressive, productive, and promising. And we're going to go straight into it. We're going to get some business out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
The big business as Black Press is to make sure that you guys know what's going on in the world. And what's going on in the country and how it affects us.
Yeah.
So first, I want to talk about last week was hilarious. After 14 what's it called? Votes. 14 votes to try to elect a House leader.
Yeah.
Not minority, but majority House leader in the Republicans. It was hilarious to me because it looked exactly like what was going on with the Democrats and Senator Manchin holding off. Like I know Charlemagne was asking the VP if Manchin was the president, and it was pretty much the same thing on the opposite side, and that's why I say it was hilarious because each way we go, it's chaos. House majority only has like 5. They only have a majority of 5 representatives, so it's still gonna be really tough for them to get stuff passed. But that's a great thing. It's a great thing because when you got things going on both sides, nobody has so much power that they completely control the government.
Yeah.
So even though the Republicans have the House majority, Senate is still held by the Democrats, and so it balances out. So only things that are gonna really pass.
That's actually really pertinent.
Yeah, are things that everybody can say, okay, we will stamp off on this with enough majority votes.
That makes it hard though.
It does, but it makes it harder for the country to go too far in one direction or too far in the other, based off of the liberals, the Republicans, the progressives, all of that, because it's almost like a balance,
like an even.
Exactly, it's like a balance. What's they call it? It was not a teeter totter, but what was that thing we used to play on the at the playground? Well,
I think it is a teeter totter.
Is it a teeter totter?
Yeah.
So it's balanced. So it's gonna have to be like a majority or a lot of votes that actually want the same thing on both sides. like the bill that just passed with Biden, and then Mitch McConnell was out there, and they both, shook hands or whatever, and said, "Hey, we got this thing done in a bipartisan way," because it was something that both Republicans and Democrats could both agree on, and that's when the country runs best, is the fact that, hey, we both sides have a common interest, like you said. And speaking on that though, another part was Biden. You tracking that, right?
Yeah.
You gonna tell us what we happened? All right, I'll tell you.
Immigration.
Today, Biden took his first trip down to the border. President Joe Biden took his first trip down to the border, and it was not a surprise, because at this point in time, because he knows Republicans have been hitting him over the head with border control. Now him taking that trip down there at the moment where House Republicans have been able to take control of the House or have actually established leadership. It's like, okay, it shows that he's trying to do something.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think black people really recognize the fact that we are diminishing our role in decisions for our country, because we are now the second minority. We're not the highest population minority. Hispanics have surpassed us in the population. So what does that do? That means that the Republicans and or Democrats are going to try to tailor their platforms to the Hispanics more than the blacks, because they got more votes. So we've made ourselves less like, we were already not getting any kind of support or getting any acknowledgement before, when we were the leading minority. Now we're the second leading minority, and then as we keep going down, it's gonna just get worse and worse for us as black people.
Yeah. In that case, I don't think it matters so much to like who the minority is, because if we aren't putting ourselves in positions to make the necessary changes, things are still gonna go as it always has been, which is like mostly black people taking the back seat to stuff.
Yeah, but if we've already been taking the back seat when we were the leading minority, think of now we're gonna be in that back seat that ain't got no seats. I remember when we had a Ford Explorer when I was growing up, and before they started those third row seats, you had that second row. Then everybody that couldn't fit in the second row just sit in the back where the trunk where it would be a trunk. That's where we at. We're allowing, because, and we'll talk about it more than that. I'll talk more about that later, but we're putting ourselves in the back of the back. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But once they create more laws to legitimize immigrants coming from the Mexico and further South America, we're gonna be even more, and because the Hispanics operate differently from us.
Yeah, and a lot of them work a lot harder than American people.
My point, exactly.
The American people need to do better. Immigrants built this country, so they're the ones that's building it. You can't just sit back and feel comfortable in your skin, like things are supposed to fall in your lap.
Yeah,
you have to actually get up and get out there and do the work.
Yeah, and plus we get upset when we say, "Oh, Hispanics are taking our jobs," or if we have more Hispanics come in, there'll be less jobs. Hispanics take the jobs that we don't want. There's a reason why there are mostly Hispanics in the fields, because that's the labor job that we don't want. But that's part of the labor that's at the bottom of the economy, but at the base of the economy, that's supporting our economy when it comes to all produce in America. And they're the ones willing to take that job. And we talked about it before. Like, I grew up, and I know you said it. Where when I was living in apartments, you knew that there was some apartments where it was like 3 or 4 families of Hispanics in there, and they were in there, and they all going to work, and then they bring it into the pot, and then what happens is they do that until they get enough money for one person to be able to buy a house.
Yeah.
and then they all move to that one house,
Mm-hmm.
and then one other person, did they keep doing the same thing?
Yeah.
We're so busy trying to make sure we have everything that we
For
want.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to have everything, which means we have to have our own house. We have to have our own car. We have to do all of this stuff, but it's making us to where we're spending so much we can't actually build because we're spending too much on our individual lifestyles.
It's because people don't want to help each other. Like if you see somebody, especially in your family,
Mm-hmm.
that's struggling, you should be trying to help them, like set up themselves so that they can actually help and take care of themselves,
Yeah,
so
but
that they can help other people too. It's
but
not
here's
just
the
about that
problem though.
one.
There's a extra problem with that part.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I put a meme out some months ago where I said, uh, don't accept don't accept the help from the people that you're not willing to accept the criticism from.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're struggling and you call me and hey, I need a couple bucks, or hey, can I move in with you for a while, or
Mm-hmm.
even if I offer that, I can do all that,
Mm-hmm.
and then for you to come back and when I say, hey, I think you probably spending too much in this area, or
Mm-hmm.
you probably go out a little bit too much, bro. You might need to sit down and stack your coins and up. But
Mm-hmm.
when I give you, you're okay to receive the help from me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm able to give it, but you're not willing to receive the criticism or the constructive criticism.
Yeah.
That's a big problem that we have is don't tell me nothing about who I am. I do what I want to do. So people, and it happens all the time where somebody will help a family member out,
Mm-hmm.
and then, hey, I need you should probably do this, and this will probably make you more successful. You can't tell me what to do. I'm a grown, blah, 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 blah. You a grown, blah, 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 but you got my help.
Yeah, but it's also about tone and
Nah.
how you said it. You can't say that you're helping someone from your heart and have like a little bit of resentment in yourself.
It don't have to be resentment.
It's
That's
like I'm helping you again. I'm helping you
yes.
again. Oh
Right.
my gosh, you need to change something.
Right.
But when you approach it like that, that has negative
Then
connotation
don't
written all
ask me
over
for
it.
nothing. That's the
So,
issue. We always say it's how you tell me. Don't
mm-hmm.
ask, bruh. If you're not willing to receive my criticism, don't ask me for help. Don't take my money.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take my help. If you can't, if I have, okay, if I give you, if you need $100 and
mm-hmm.
I slap you in the hand for that $100, you still gonna take that $100. It's $100, whether that slap made your hand hurt or not. But how I speak, now I'm supposed to be soft. Mm-hmm. Yes, I can be soft. But if I say it soft, and that's a big thing, we don't care about saying soft. If somebody tell you, hey, I'm praying for you, but I think you could do this. Oh, okay, thank you. Or I'm helping you, or I'm giving you money, but then we don't hear the soft.
Mm-hmm.
We don't hear the soft. So we complain about the loud.
Mm-hmm.
We don't adhere to, we don't change from the soft, but we just complain about the loud. So basically, it has nothing to do with how I say it. You just don't want me to say nothing at all.
It depends. So if you're talking to somebody to help them and you like really strike a nerve, it's gonna affect them into making them do better if they actually care. But if you're talking to somebody and you make them feel like less than, or you make them feel um like make them feel low, like beat up on their self-esteem, that doesn't help, because
Right.
that just makes them feel like in the downs.
That's true.
So
But
it's all in the way that you approach it and the way that you bring it to them. Yeah, it has to come from, see, when it comes from the heart instead of just coming from like the brain, it's two different ways. There's two different approaches. So when it comes from the heart, it pulls more at your heartstrings. But when it comes from the mind, it's just like you shooting off and like, nah, you need to get it together. And then that will actually hurt, because
yeah.
you're in a state where you're already vulnerable to come to that person and ask. And then you go to that person and you ask, and then they make you feel even more less than. That doesn't help.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come from your heart and you can genuinely sit that person down, like, look, I got to talk to you about this because we need to get you to make some changes in order for this not to happen.
And then
See,
what
that's
happens if
it.
they
See
don't
that.
receive
See
it that
that's
way?
if they don't receive it that way, you just let them go. You can't enable somebody. You have to.
So you still end up at the same problem. I
So
see.
it comes to a point where you say, no, I can't do this because of this reason,
Right.
and you identify the reason, and then if it's up to them to accept that and say, okay, you right, I need to do something else, that will leave them in a position to either ask somebody else or
That's what
get
they
out
gonna do.
there and get it on their own.
But that, yeah. But here's my issue.
Mm-hmm.
When I said people are willing to accept help, but not really willing to receive constructive criticism,
Mm-hmm.
and I said constructive criticism, the very first thing that somebody will always say is, well, it depends on how you tell them. That's automatically giving that person, you're automatically giving that person the justification that I did not tell them the right way. If
Mm-hmm.
I say constructive criticism, it's automatically thought of as negative. Oh, I came at them in the wrong way. No, I can nicely give you constructive criticism
Mm-hmm.
and you still not want to receive it.
Of course, they have to be in a mind frame to receive it.
Right.
Whether you
That's
talk to
my big
somebody,
point, though,
yeah.
because I believe, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
we a lot of people that struggle in life
Mm-hmm.
are willing to accept the help, but not willing to accept the criticism, regardless of how the criticism is given.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how the constructive criticism is given, regardless of what if I say it nice, harsh, whatever, you don't care. Literally, you just want me to give you my money
Yeah,
or
there
give you
and
my
there are
household.
some people like that,
I
but
believe there's a lot of people like that.
I don't think it's a lot because you have to put yourself in a space of wanting to do better.
Right, but I think there's a lot of people that's not putting themselves in a space of wanting to do better. Okay, I wouldn't say the majority. I would say there's a lot in numbers if you add up all the numbers of blacks across America,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a I would say the majority of us do well to sustain in life.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's a minority of us that are not going to sustain in life and are not going to accept your criticism. And then there's some of us that are doing great. But then there's always a certain class. I mean, in any race, there's
Yeah.
a levels of classes that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah. So if you're given constructive criticism, long story short, you identify the problem and then you provide them with the solution. So
I
and
know,
that
but
that's what will help
I
them.
think. Let me ask you this: because
Mm-hmm.
you're soft spoken and you're calm and soft spoken about the
Mm-hmm.
way you talk to people, have you always received from your criticism in the positive? Like, had anytime you gave somebody your soft criticism, have
Mm-hmm.
they always responded positively?
Most of the time, all the time. Well, most of the time, yes,
But
because
not all the time.
most of the time, yes,
But not
because
all the time.
people, it not of course not
Oh,
100% of the
okay.
time, but
That was just my question.
maybe about like 95% of the time. If I sit somebody down and I'm talking to them, they're listening, because it's not often that I'm gonna pull you to the side and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
I see I observe a lot and I reserve my time and my space. So, and I'm not like all like socially public and stuff like that, loud and obnoxious.
Yeah.
I actually sit back and I look and I assess the situation before I go and I try to comment on it.
Yeah.
I make sure that it's a open space and make sure that it's that the person won't be left to feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
when I'm presenting it to them.
So what? And then my next question
Hmm.
is that on the first, the second, or the third time that they ask for help?
So the third time it's a no. It's an automatic no, because if I help you the first time, the second time I give you advice, and then
Okay,
the
that's
third
my that's
and
gonna
then
be
the
my next
third
question.
time you come to me with the same thing,
Yeah.
no.
That was gonna be my next question. Like, when did you start giving the advice? The
No,
second time, right?
second
So,
time. Well,
how do you tell them no?
me, no, knowing me, I give them advice the first time because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna help you,
Yeah,
but let me help you,
yeah.
and then
And all
the
of them, well, 95% of them received it. Like they sat down and listened to you. And
absolutely, because people,
did it work?
it does,
95% of the time, it worked.
it does, it does.
Okay.
For me, in my and what I've perceived or what I've went
Yeah.
through and stuff like that. So, yes.
Well, that's good for you then. Look at you, kudos. Oh, mentor, so
I
okay.
am the guru. People come to me with their questions and stuff. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I like to help
yeah.
people when I can.
I mean, I've helped a lot of. Well, in the military as a leader, I have, but
Mhm.
it's more so I had the rank on my shoulders
Mhm.
to say, all right, I've been through what you've been through, so
Yeah.
they accepted they received it better.
Mhm.
And there's some people that everywhere other places.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's
Mhm.
big piece of great news.
Yeah.
The Democratic House Minority Leader,
Mhm.
the new one, Hakeem Jeffries. Guess what he is?
Wait.
Black. He is black. We got we got our first House leader that is black ever.
Of color.
So that's yeah.
Mhm.
So that's awesome. What do you mean of color?
Yeah, because
What does of color mean?
black is so much than just the color black. Black is brown. Black is beautiful.
Indian?
Black is everything.
Indian?
There's Indian black too.
So Indian is of color.
There's
So
black
what?
in every race.
So what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But what of color is? So you when you say person of color, you mean like Indian, Afghani, all those other different races or all those other different ethnic groups?
No, I mean black with the different shades of the different.
Like Dominican, they count for black.
No,
They
I
don't.
think see,
But this black Dominicans.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like black encompasses so many
Yeah,
different
and that's
things
why I said black. You said of color though. So what is of color?
of color.
What is
Of
of
different
color?
color. It's different colors of black. so I so when
So
you
is
tell
white?
somebody
So you saying white people are not of color?
they change colors. I mean, you go from blue to pink to okay.
Yeah.
Everybody
I
has
mean,
different
cause
colors,
I mean, cause I remember every time we color with the crayon, you
Mhm.
use that peach color,
Yeah.
and that was if you was coloring somebody white.
You use peach or you just leave it
So,
plain.
so this would not be the first house leader of color, cause they peach. That's a color.
Oh my gosh. It's different shades.
Okay, I just want to give you a hard time.
I know.
I know. So they can laugh. Hey, put a one in the chat if you think black people are people of color or if people are of color are black. Right?
There's so I hate when people say stuff like that because
Because every
there's so
word
many
has a
different
meaning though. So
hues.
every word has a meaning. So you have to identify how you are meaning what you're meaning when you use a specific word. That's why I say black. Because when I say black, I say black and proud. I say black, not black power, but you know, because that didn't really work in the 60s. Black power didn't really work. But you know what I'm saying? I say black as strong, capable, black. Like, that's why I don't use of color.
Okay.
Because, like, of color, you mean like array of crayons?
Yeah.
Oh, you like, never mind. I was gonna go off on a tangent. You know, like my brain, I can say one thing and then just go off on a whole nother thing. Start talking about crayons. But yeah. What's next? Hey, I can. You want me to? I can introduce all the topics. I got you.
Hey, all right. So let's go to something else
All
because
right. So let's say
Kiki
go ahead
Palmer,
for let me
pregnancy
like the channel. Please share this video, share this content with others so we can continue to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Comment, tell me what black it means to you, what of color means to you, and subscribe.
Yes.
Trying to get 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna start off on fire for January.
Yeah.
So subscribe and next Kiki Palmer, you said?
Yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm using of color, because I know some people get offended with that. Just correct me if I'm wrong, please, and I'll stand corrected if I used it in the wrong sense or context. So.
Okay.
So moving on, Kiki Palmer, she did her pregnancy announcement a little whiles ago. So we say congratulations.
What? See?
Yeah.
What? So, congratulations and yay.
Yeah.
And so anyway, she announced it like 3 weeks ago on
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
And she's been glowing ever since.
I saw this. I saw her. She on her IG. She did a video saying she's got great skin now.
Yeah.
You know, her pores look great and less bumps and clarity of skin. And she said the one thing that does it is being pregnant. And I'm gonna be pregnant for life.
Yeah.
She said she actually finished the video saying that, like, I'm gonna be pregnant for life.
I saw that.
You saw it?
I don't agree with that because some pregnancies will break your whole face out and your body. So don't take that advice.
So
sidebar.
The other part of it is congratulations and yay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a new life coming into this world, and it's a blessing.
Okay. Here's my issue is with the fact that, okay, let me ask you this question. Do you believe a child has a better chance of progressing in life more successfully if they have a two-parent household?
Yes. But does that two-parent household have to always be within the same unit?
House?
Sometimes it's not it doesn't play out like that. You know, some people turn into widows, or the other parent passes away, or the other parent is away for like whatever reason.
Is Kiki Palmer's is her
They're
significant other? But he didn't pass away.
No, they're still together. But I'm
why
saying,
do we always go to the extreme? Like,
no,
that's where we gotta go to. So I'm talking about, okay, passing away is not a choice.
Of course.
I have an issue with us choosing to have children without first establishing a two-parent household. And if we can agree that having a two-parent household is will produce a higher success rate, then that means we agree that a one-parent household has a less chance of being successful.
That's if that one-parent household is, if they're doing it on their own all the time. If you have a two-parent household, regardless of if the two parents are there, you have two parents that get along with each other, that are willing to help each other, drop whatever they're doing to come and assist or help with that child. That makes it work, and that makes it worthwhile. Because if you just have one person that's doing all the work, that person is gonna get worn out, of course. In their case, they might not even have that because they are people of wealth. So she can get a nanny or have another person to help and assist her. Okay. But in cases where like just single parents, it's a real struggle.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't always have that grandparent, because that grandparent, they're still working. Not everybody's grandparent is retired or in a space to where they can help, because some people are very sickly.
Right.
So if you have, that's why I say it takes like a village. You have like a good network of friends. You have a good you have backups, people that will step in and help.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day, you had grandparents or godparents. Your godparents, they would help. Nowadays, godparents is just like a glory title. It doesn't really carry much weight, and they don't really do anything. So if you have a godparent, they should be playing their role in assisting and helping you. It takes a village for to raise a child, and that's where success comes from.
So does it come from the village or from the two-parent household?
Both. You really,
So
even in a two-parent household, you can still struggle while raising a child. It really takes that village to
mm-mm.
okay, but it really takes that village to build that family unit, because the village is what we're missing in today. When you send your child outside and they're out there acting up, you got the neighbor down the road that's gonna chastise them and put them and correct them. You know you're not supposed to be acting like that. I know your mother. Then you correct them, you tell their mother, and that fixes that issue. But nowadays you have little Beanie Bop walking down the road, and
Beanie Bop?
yeah, yeah, Beanie Bop walking down the road, acting all out of character, cussing out the neighbors.
Maybe
You
he's
go,
acting in character.
or you go and you tell the mother, and then the mother cuss you out for talking to their child. It shouldn't be like that. You really need a village unit in order to raise successful children.
Right. My issue with all of that
Mm-hmm.
is, for actually first let me ask this last question before I start. The so do you consider a two-parent household to be congruent to one parent being one place and one parent being in another place, but they work well together, and that is what you're considering a two-parent household?
No, so I said two-parent household is two parents that lives together, but a two-parent household unit is when, even if it doesn't work out and y'all separate, y'all can still come together and work to raise the child.
So they still live together.
Not all the time.
That so you just said two opposite things though.
No.
You said two-parent household is where two parents live together.
Yes,
But then
a
you
two-parent
said
household. Yes,
so
that's what that is. But a two-parent household unit.
you just added the word unit.
Yeah.
That's not a two. Is it a two-parent household? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm literally trying to say.
But I'm
what
saying unity to bring them together. You even if I change the word and say two-parent unit and take out household, it's still.
So you're still saying live together?
No, they're not living.
Then
You don't always have to live together.
I'm just
to.
trying to. Yeah.
But I'm saying you don't always have to live together to raise it, because it doesn't always work out that way. So you have to, even if it doesn't, you have to still be in a space to be able to communicate and co-parent.
Yes, but I just want to know how you're defining two-parent household. Are they living together or not?
Yeah, they're living together.
So a two-parent household is the best way. So here's
It's
why
one of the best ways. It's not just the best way.
here's my issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say a two-parent household, or it's not a two-parent household, it's two parents that work together.
Mm-hmm.
They're separated. It didn't work out,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still working together for the best of that child.
Yeah.
But when you say one person, they're both willing to drop everything
Mm-hmm.
to do for that child. That the same way to say that it works. That sometimes it works that way.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times, I don't believe it does.
Of course, and of course not. That I'm saying that's how it should
yes
go.
That
But
is
of
how
course,
it should go.
it doesn't happen. Whenever the two-parent household breaks up, majority of the responsibility falls on that one person that has
Custody.
custody.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that. It
Right.
should be where If you're not there, make yourself present to that child.
Right.
Make
But
yourself show up, and if there's field trips and the school needs a chaperone, you're there. If the other parent can't be there, if the child needs money for school lunch,
mm-hmm.
you help to provide that or help with half. People are not meeting halfway, they're just doing just enough.
Right. And that's why I say it should not be a congratulations. It shouldn't be a congratulations or a yay, because we know that people for the yes, majority, because over 50% where a couple is separated, or they're not together, one person ends up doing most of the work. And that's why I don't say yay and I don't say congratulations to Kiki Palmer, because you, even well to do, Nick Cannon is well to do, but he's not with all 10 of his kids at the same time. They're not all getting equal time or much time at all. So well to do doesn't matter. That my issue with her with the yay and congratulations is, yes, you might financially be able to do, and what's her name, also Summer Walker with her 3 kids now, because she had twins.
Yeah.
But you all might be able to do well and survive, but that's because you have the financial means.
Yeah.
When other women see that and try to emulate that, they end up overstressed, crying, and overburdened, because that, for one, like you said, that they don't normally have that other person there. They don't have the financial means to maintain that, and for 2 is the fact that there is no community now. So I don't say yay, and I don't say and I say for 3 reasons. I don't say yay or congratulations because you have the financial means, most people don't. There's no community, and for 3, we still know that a 2-person household where both parents are together and living together and working as a community within their own household community, that's the proven best, more successful way for a child to be raised to be successful.
It is. And
so for her to show that and have that is continuing to perpetuate the cycle of she can do it, and that's the way to go.
Yeah, that the only thing I say to combat that is, you can have a 2-parent household, but sometimes you can be present and not have presence. So it can still fall to that one person that's taking care of everything, even if you're still within a household. So bottom line, you know what your wages make you capable of doing. Don't go outside of your wages. Live within your means of providing for your household and your family.
Right.
Basically.
That goes to my last week's discussion, though. Seeing is believing. So if she can do it, I can do it. But I don't recognize that my finances are not where hers are. Yeah. But I can make my finances get there. But I don't realize that. I don't realize that the quote unquote burden of having a child makes it harder to get there.
Yeah.
So you got to put in the cart before the horse. Get the income that can provide that before you get the baby to that needs the income. That's all I'm saying. And I just feel like her and that whole ideology of being single and with child does not have a overwhelming success rate.
But she can see it. I guarantee you, she's gonna most likely probably get married, and then it's gonna be.
I hope she does.
I think.
But
they look real.
Or she could be Summer Walker looks lovey-dovey with what's his name?
But people don't take time enough to know each other before they go and procreate.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
I like this.
Go back and watch the video of a partnership and a business partnership that we talked about. Choosing a co-parent is the same way you choose a business partner.
And then it's just like once you actually get to know the person, it's just like gosh, but then it's too late.
Exactly.
So
It's too late.
mm-hmm.
All right. That's how we feel about Kiki Palmer. Great discussion.
Yeah.
Go ahead and like the channel. Subscribe. Make your comments. What do you think? Do you think it's great for Kiki Palmer to have to be pregnant but not married? Do you think it's great for Summer Walker to have 3 kids and not married? What do you think? And then how do you think it actually affects our community, where other young women see it and think, because seeing is believing, that they can do it as well? Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and we are going to go to the next topic, which is
Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin.
Yes, he has woken up. I'll tell you. I was actually praying for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it sounded like so tragic. Like he went into cardiac arrest twice, and they had to do CPR. CPR is so life saving. I myself just recently got recertified, and the work that you have to actually put in,
yeah, it's a lot of.
It is.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. I slept so good that night. But really, get into like your health and wellness and everything. And if you can learn some CPR, you might save somebody's life.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've been certified. My certification is expired, but that doesn't mean I forgot how to do CPR.
Yeah.
I still know, the chest compressions and how to do it, and even with a baby with the 2 fingers. So, see, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. But yeah, so my whole, honestly, it really frustrates me. And then everything to add on top of that, what Skip Bayless said about, how can we postpone this game when it's so close to the end of the season, and it's an important game, and this and that. And honestly, part of me want to just be like, I'm done. I'm done talking about it, because how long are we just gonna keep doing this? Like, why? Everything with the idea of most of the NFL being black, except when it comes to quarterbacks, and how we can pay, the teams can pay football players an enormous amount of money they're literally putting their life on the line every time they go out in that field, because you never know when that hit can come that can put you into cardiac arrest.
Or concussion, brain trauma, damage.
And for me, it's just like, okay, what are we doing? And why? And plus the fact that we are still allowing our children to tailor their activities towards the life of going into the NFL. It's like we're literally continuously, voluntarily taking the path where some rich white man is making an enormous amount of money, and we just trying to get our coins off of that.
It's a dream, though. Do you think that's the same as signing up for the Army?
No.
Because you're still signing up for something that you know is potentially cautious.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do it for
financial reasons.
Yeah, for financial reasons. And
that's true.
And to better off their life.
Yeah. And a lot of and it is, and that's a good point, because a lot of people do. When I joined, it was for financial reasons. It was right after the market crash in 2008, and I joined in 2009. But it was that was the original reason I got in. But as you stay in, it becomes a totally different reason. You actually buy into the idea, and you actually
for the valor and enrichment of the country.
I'm doing this for not just for my country, but for my brothers and sisters to my left and my right. And that's one big difference. But it's not something that I completely.
It's not Sunday night football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you start to realize that, I am doing this for the freedom of America. And like I said, you buy into it, and your heart starts to feel like, okay, I'm doing this and I could be doing something different, but this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
But to me, also when it happened, it was something in my head made me correlate it with George Floyd
Mm-hmm.
because it made me think, okay, two men died on the ground, and George Floyd's family, after their lawsuit, got a big check,
Mm-hmm.
and Damar Hamlin, his family's getting a check
Mm-hmm.
for him going out there and putting his life on the line. The military does it too. You get a big check, like the family members get a big check. If a soldier dies in action,
Mm-hmm.
we're putting our life on the line for a check,
Yeah.
and
But
only
that's
one of the three was violent. I mean, one of the three was involuntary, but they're all pretty much for some big
for a check. That's the
white
world
guy.
though. That's how life insurance works.
Yeah,
Everybody, you out about doing your everyday activities, and there's a life insurance policy on with your name on it.
mm-hmm.
And if something happens to you, check.
Yeah. So, but I think that one of the other big things is that he's doing it for our entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like when the slave master used to put the biggest, strongest slaves and had them fight,
Mm-hmm.
and then he literally fighting for his life, only to win and you know get a good meal.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's more to life than just fighting on the field.
Yeah.
It's,
And it takes sometimes it takes people a little while to find their purpose and what they're supposed to do in life, so they just go along with what they think they should be doing in life or what piques their interest.
yeah.
So it just takes time for
I
some
know.
people.
I know that a lot of football, a lot of athletes are
Mm-hmm.
doing that because they're coming out of a struggle, a life
Yeah.
of struggle. But my issue with that is the same amount of hard work,
Mm-hmm.
blood, sweat, and tears you put on the field, you can put in the books and not risk your life.
Mm-hmm.
You can put that same effort into your education or your craft
Mm-hmm.
and have the same financial outcome
Mm-hmm.
and still build for your family and get your mama a new house and get her out of poverty without putting your life on the line.
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're still putting our life on the line. Well, not we, because I was too short and too skinny to play. But they're putting their life on the line, and then we as the black community are supporting them putting their life on the line for our entertainment. That's my big issue. Is because so many. I mean, they did a whole movie with Will Smith in it
Mm-hmm.
about the TBIs, the
That
traumatic brain
concussion.
injuries, and all of that. That literally have driven athletes insane
Mm-hmm.
because of those traumatic event, that brain trauma, and then ends up hurting someone else
Yeah.
or not able to move.
Mm-hmm.
Muhammad Ali,
Yeah.
when
Look
it
at remember that one football player Hernandez. Was it
I
Hernandez?
forgot who it was.
But he basically kind of lost his mind. He killed his sister-in-law's
Mm-hmm.
husband. I forget his name. Y'all write it in the chat if y'all know. But yeah,
It's too many names
he
to
had
remember of all the people that have
he had a
gone through that
kid,
stuff.
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and their issues, and it's just like write a check, and then Skip Bayless to say what he said. It's just like that's literally how they feel.
Keep the show going.
That's how they feel.
Basically, yeah.
That's how they feel. To me that sounded just like when that sounded just like if a slave passed out in the cotton field.
Mm-hmm.
It's like get him some water, get him out of my field, and keep on working.
Mm. But in being advocate, in his frame of mind, he's probably just thinking, okay, we got this game, we got to keep it going. This is a job. This is a job.
You
and
know what I just
we
realized?
basically have to keep going.
the National Football League is the Hunger Games.
Mm.
Where's the Mockingbird? Somebody need to get the Mockingbird out there to put a little two fingers up, because that's what it is.
Mm.
They literally out there. I'm sure somebody's had to say that before. I'm not the only one that just realized that. This mug is, it's the Mockingbird, where everybody that like they fighting, and everybody's little sections of poverty all the way up are watching it on the screen.
The stadium.
Yeah, they watch it, or they at home. We at home watching it on the screen, watching these people try to crush each other. Like Biden said, these are 6'6", 300-pound dudes running at each other at full speed.
Yeah, imagine getting hit like that. Ooh.
Can anybody? I mean, is nobody realizing that the NFL is the Hunger Games?
Do they have like chest plates?
No, they got pads.
Yeah, they're gonna have to start wearing chest plates. Yeah, they're gonna have to start wearing chest plates. After this, I think they should really implement that. Of course, it's gonna change the game up a little bit.
What made them go into cardiac arrest though? Was it?
Well, because it hit his chest, so
is that what they said it was?
Yeah, he had cardiac arrest.
I know, but I'm saying what made his heart stop.
It could be anything of health conditions, but
their pads kind of cover their chest though. The pads come down and cover the chest.
But you got your chest where your heart.
Well, they come down and cover it because that's where you tie it up at. That's got plastic.
You still got your sternum.
They use the quarterback and people that get hit in those areas. They have waist belts that are padded.
Because you can get the wind knocked out of you.
Oh yeah.
And if you get hit hard enough, you can.
I've lost consciousness
out of
yeah. Young kid days, that was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that's definitely the NFL is the Hunger Games. People trying to fight their way out of poverty. Crazy. All right. What's the next topic? Do you remember?
Next one is Prince Harry has a book coming out.
Oh.
And I didn't recall the name of it. What's the name?
I don't know the name of his book.
Yeah. Well, he has a book coming out, and it's mostly like a tell all, but I think
I don't even think I like.
Honestly,
I don't even care to talk about this. It's not only is it another white guy, and I got nothing against white people.
A black woman,
but she acts white.
And she's a black woman.
But
she identifies as black.
He's also from England. Like, he across the pond. Just because you're in America, I'm still not interested in talking or knowing about him.
I love the Royals.
You watch that show?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't got time.
That's not nice.
What do you mean?
But I think
I just like you have there's nothing of watching that's entertaining to me or that actually improves my life. So it's like, but apparently
boring.
They said his brother, he got into a physical altercation with his brother on that.
Fight.
His brother hit him.
Because some things should be left in the house. You ever heard of what happens in this house stays in this house?
I do want to know what happened. Like, what would have caused his brother to hit him? Especially when you're the one that's being discriminatory towards my wife.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you hit me? I should be hitting you.
Yeah, and then they have the same mom. You can't. Oh, my mom, and it's different things. Like, keep some stuff private. Like, you don't have to.
But then how do they make any money?
But that's the thing. Everybody putting a price tag on everything.
They are. Because they left the royal family. Like, you got to make a way. So what do? I write a book.
Sometimes you got to keep some stuff private because once that lid is off, it leaves everybody.
He's demolishing his connection. Like his family's like they have no connection. There's no way you're gonna have any connection after you write a tell-all book about your family. Like.
And then you have to think about their kids too, because their kids are gonna grow up and they have their own opinions.
They're literally destroying their whole connection.
Yeah, it leaves everybody interpretation to your life. Like, why you keep open? It's like having a house and opening the doors and letting people hear what's going on. Like, why?
But however, I can say exactly the same thing about Housewives.
Housewives. Well, they show some parts. They don't show all parts.
But they showing enough to be an embarrassment.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's entertainment, but you don't want to be.
So everything
You don't want to be somebody's source of entertainment when it's your actual life.
But you watch it.
I do.
You watch Housewives.
I do. I'm committed to it.
That's my point, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can say all that.
Yeah.
About them, not them. About Meghan and Harry putting everything out on Front Street.
Mm-hmm.
But we, when I say we, I mean you. Mm-hmm. Watch Real Housewives.
Well, of course, because I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna look, and of course I'm gonna end up judging. But it's not my place, of course. But if you open that door,
you just look at the guy to say it's not my place. You forgive you.
Well, yeah, because I want him to know. Because I ain't trying to be.
I'm not trying to judge, because by the same actions that I judge you,
no,
I might be judged myself.
If you don't want for certain things to be commented on or spoken about, stop opening the door. You're opening Pandora's box.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowing people to have a discussion about your life.
Yeah.
If it matters to you that much, keep it close to your chest, basically. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, but also, that also brings up the point of, like we were saying when you were watching something yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. About their class, like they're in a higher social class.
Yeah.
And still acting like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter what social class we're all still human.
Yeah.
Everybody still got drama.
Mm-hmm.
But don't put it out on the front street.
Yeah.
Like, don't put all your stuff out on the curb.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what happened. We know you've been when somebody get evicted out their apartment and they all their stuff end up out on the curb, folks start running up there grabbing stuff.
Mm-hmm. Then they grab something and they start talking about it.
And if you ain't from the hood, you ain't seen that.
Yeah. I seen it.
Somebody's stuff be out there in the curb. Folks
everybody
coming by picking up stuff. Like, dang, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
They already got thrown out. You gonna take their stuff too?
Yep. Leave it open.
But that's what we doing. Even in the higher social class, people putting it on video camera.
Yeah.
And we're consuming it because it's entertaining. It's sad. The world is sad.
Yeah. And
let's talk about something happy.
Yeah.
Anything happy?
Happy?
Yeah.
I was just about to be a bummer.
Go for it.
Because I was just about to talk about health and wellness.
Yeah.
Like, your health is your wealth. A lot of times people are not taking care of themselves. If you look at somebody and they look unhealthy, I think you should be okay with saying something to them. Like Lizzo, she just put out like a video where she was saying that she doesn't like people commenting on her and what she does, what she eats and stuff like that. You leave it if you leave it open to interpretation. That's what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you live like an unhealthy lifestyle and it makes you happy, then okay. But don't be out there promoting it like it's okay, because there's people actually dying from that.
Yeah. Like,
COVID took so many people away because people weren't up to like the health standards.
Mm-hmm.
You're not taking your vitamins. You're not intaking the proper nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You're not drinking enough water. I'm guilty.
And now they say loneliness.
But yeah,
loneliness affects your health.
Yeah.
60% of Americans are experiencing loneliness, and it negatively affects your health.
It does, because you need people around you. But even like plants.
But we've gotten to the point where we're so
rather be by yourself.
As long as I got my phone,
mm-hmm.
or I get I watch this Netflix series for the whole weekend.
Binge watching.
Yeah. Don't nobody want Netflix and chill. They just want to let Netflix.
Yeah. You still need that human connection though. You still need like a touch.
Mm-hmm.
You still need somebody to.
You just wanted to touch me.
Maybe. You still need connection.
Yeah.
So even if like you're feeling lonely, that's why people end up doing like detrimental stuff to themselves,
Yeah.
because
We don't do much out though. Not and that it's
yeah,
gotten worse. Like I think so. For me, it's a little bit different because I'm the only boy, so I've grown up alone pretty much by myself. So I learned how to enjoy myself.
Yeah, me too.
But I think a big thing is like some kind of having hobbies, like
Social
hobbies that
hobbies.
allow you, but yeah, I guess you could be
some
social.
type of social hobby.
Social hobbies are best for most people. I've had hobbies. I got a lot of hobbies that are like I can do them alone, but I've learned to enjoy my own self. Like you can't enjoy yourself unless you talk to yourself. Like, and then they say you're only crazy if you answer yourself. I might be crazy, but like I said, I grew up like that. So, bowling, I can go bowling by myself. Fishing, I go fishing by myself. You see me out there in the kayak. Golf can be an individual sport. Gardening is individual, but you can if you have something like that, and you're one of those type of people that need to be around people. Yes, do it. Pick up something. Do a book club. Yeah. We were talking about book club. I don't like being held to a standard of I got to read this many pages in a week. What if I'm busy? But we have to alone ourselves.
And that's hard because I like being solo too.
And that's funny. A lot of people say they like being solo, but
it's comfortable.
Some people be not telling the truth.
No, I'm very comfortable being by myself.
Yeah.
Like I like peace and quiet. I don't like a lot of noise. You can tell from my mannerism, the way I talk and everything. Like I don't like obnoxiousness.
Yeah.
Like people being loud and just ratchet. I might indulge it for a little while, but
unless it's on Real Housewives, then you stuck like.
No, sometimes I turn because sometimes I be like, why are grown people acting like this? And then I just go and walk away or do something else, make it play like background noise. But I like my peace time.
Yeah. Awesome. So this on that note, make sure we try to live our best healthy lives. But I think a big issue is that we know what to do, we just don't want to do it.
Because it's hard.
It is.
Because you know you're supposed
especially that repetitiveness.
Yeah, because you know you're supposed to drink at least 11 to 12 8-ounce glasses of water.
Yeah.
That's hard.
You're supposed to drink like a whole gallon.
And then there's other options like soda, which you're not really supposed to drink. There's tea. I love tea. Every different kind of tea. Green tea, chamomile tea, black tea. So many different ones.
Yeah.
But drinking water is vital and essential. But I don't know. I don't know why I don't do it. And I know other people feel the same way.
Because it gets boring.
Yeah, other people
water
feel the same way.
Like water, drinking just water gets boring.
Because imagine having like a good meal.
Yeah.
You're not gonna want to swallow it down.
You know what kind of people drink the most water? Fitness people.
Yeah. That's because they get that thirst.
Yeah. Also, I think it's a different. And I just clicked in my head that I think they drink. The reason fitness people drink more water is because they already have the mindset of health, and they also already they're already on a plan of doing repetitious things. Because when you're doing fitness, you have to go to the gym daily or every other day. You have to do it a certain amount of time. You have to focus on certain muscle groups in order to progress your entire body instead of just one body. You can't skip leg day. Unless you got BBLs, then you skipping leg day. But so all of that takes that type of repetition, that boringness of meal prep and stuff like that. Eating bland chicken, portions of rice, portions of vegetables. So the idea of doing all those things in order for the goal of being physically fit and living a healthy life, kind of like easy to just add on drinking more water.
Yeah, I think people that have like a good fitness regimen, are more organized and more successful because
Yeah.
they have like, okay, I'm gonna get up at 5. I'm gonna
Takes a
work
level of
out.
discipline.
Yeah, they're very disciplined. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna follow somebody that's like a fitness fanatic or a fitness freak, and I guarantee you they're very successful
Yeah.
in certain areas of their life.
I remember I had this. I had this. Excuse me. There was this lieutenant. Um, that was into fitness, and he was carrying around. He was a little butter bar lieutenant. He's carrying around this 1 gallon water jug, like because a lot of people in the military will carry those around, that 1 gallon water jug. Huh?
With the straw in it?
No, not the straw, just the actual, like it'll just be a 1 gallon water jug out of Walmart. And he got, so Christmas was coming around, and I ended up pulling his name for the Secret Santa, and I made sure to go get him an actual real large canteen, and the note on it. I left him a note with it. I was like, officers don't carry 1 gallon jugs. Here's your canteen. It was like a Yeti canteen.
That was nice.
But it was funny because it was a couple times I had to, police him up, be like, hey, you should probably operate this way instead of doing this way, because the way you're doing it, that's not what we do, not as officers. Yeah. But it was funny. He was laughing. Yeah, because a couple times I had to bring him into the office and close the door and be like, look, this what you did? Don't do that no more.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a certain type of lifestyle that people that are trying to be physically fit have to live. If you, and it's you recognize what you want to accomplish, and then you just have to make the necessary changes in order to get to where you want to be. But I'm gonna get to what everybody's been waiting on. First, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with somebody else, because I'm gonna get into what everybody's been waiting on for the last week. And comment about the things that we're talking about. Great topics, great information, great things that we need to talk about in order to better ourselves, better our community, and better our families. So go ahead, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we are going to get into the nitty gritty about the reasons Black women don't need a man. So just a spin up. Last week we was talking about a Morgan Stanley article, which is a financial company. They wrote an article about 45% of women will be single by 2030, and we talked about the fact that more women are going to college, more women are earning more money, more women are able to be financially stable without a man. So and then there are things that women want that men aren't doing. So the first two was slavery made us equal. So we can't have this men are superior mentality, because once we came over across the pond, we were all subject to whatever that owner wanted. So when we got free, we're all on the same playing field. We're all subject to Jim Crow, all subject to non-voting rights, all of that. So we kind of pretty much progressed together. Plus the fact that women were still working.
Yeah.
The whole idea of traditional. We need to get back to the traditional family, as if mama was in the kitchen cooking barefoot and pregnant the whole time. Mama was also washing dishes.
Yeah.
She was also taking care of the kids. She was also doing laundry for other white people. They weren't doing nothing. Yeah. The idea that women were just barefoot and pregnant and not doing anything within the household and not out there working. There were women that had whole small businesses, doing all kind of things. So, but we're not. There is no one superior than the other. Second one is seeing is believing. It was if she can see somebody doing it, then she believes that she can do it, and even if she's not doing it, she could do it, and that's why there's less of a reason to need you. The third one, number three, the reason a Black woman doesn't need a man is because there's a possibility of failure. What do I mean by that? So we don't, as men, recognize that there has to be that we so want to hold women accountable for their choices,
Mm-hmm.
but every time a woman chooses to every time a woman chooses to depend on a man, she leaves an opening for a possibility of failure
Mm-hmm.
of him. So, prime example, little examples. You ever go to one of those a black business?
Mm-hmm.
You go to a black business and they don't they don't have good customer service. They're out of something. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have it's not the bathroom ain't clean or something like that, or it gives you a reason not to want to go back and patronize that establishment.
Yes.
So that is a way that we see, and a lot of people say that black businesses don't really hold up to the standard that's necessary in order to maintain a successful business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that's just in a business, if you think about the fact that a woman has to, if she depends on the man, say, and she believes that he's capable or that he's the one that is worth having a baby with, and he turns out not to be,
Mm-hmm.
she is left with the biggest burden
Yeah.
unless she gives over custody.
Mm-hmm.
So so immediately once she decides to trust him, there's a possibility of failure. Also, the blame for the failure will always be on the woman.
You think so?
Yes, that like
Yeah.
what you said earlier about women not being able to or women having to or women being what'd you say? Women having to bear the brunt or have the most burden, and people not helping, the community not helping,
Yeah.
and
But
all
that
of
can
that,
be a female or a
or
male.
the
But
family members not
yes.
helping. It's the family members. If the family members aren't helping, they either can't, or they saying you got yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
You get yourself out of it.
And that happens a lot with when the mother gets control of the child. So if the dad gets control of the child, they're more than likely to give him help because they're like, oh, he needs help. But if it's a female in that same situation, it's like she knew what she was getting herself into. She got to figure it out herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very
And
unfair.
I don't. I don't agree with that. People like, oh, let's help him. Because
I think
I've
it
been a
is.
single dad.
Yeah.
Been a single dad,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my best friends is a single dad. Been a
Mm-hmm.
single dad for years, and it's. I think it's still a. I think that part is more so equal of the person, and
Carrying
who
more of
whether or
the
not
weight.
they carrying the weight
Mm-hmm.
and also being able to ask for the help or
So you have
or
to ask
and it
before you
also
receive
depends
it.
on the family too. Some families will help all of and if they see you trying, they'll
Mm-hmm.
help, but the blame still ends up on the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Something even lighter,
Mm-hmm.
right? If a woman says, and this is a big issue. This is
Yeah.
a big issue because the same way I was talking about with businesses, I've talked about that. You can talk about it with family members, with
Mm-hmm.
friends, with somewhat friends. Like I had a friend, um, who has a t-shirt company,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, or a brand, a t-shirt brand, and I bought. I ended up getting some hoodies. Well, ordering a hoodie from him. I got the hoodie from him,
Mm-hmm.
and then I ordered another one,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Okay," and what? Anyway, I ordered another one, paid him for it, never got my hoodie.
Mm.
Sent him a message like it's been 2 years.
Oh
It's been
wow.
2 years, and I sent him another message. Was like, "Hey, bro, you know you still owe me that hoodie. That was supposed to be a gift from my dad like 2 years ago.
Wow.
LOL." No response.
So did he ghost you?
Pretty much, I guess so.
Oh wow.
And I mean, I guess he's doing well. You know, he wrote a book too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know who you are, so if you watch this, bruh, let me get my hoodie. I ordered it.
Wifey's gonna send you an invoice.
But
But yes.
It's like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just a hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
But if a woman is receiving or is if she actually asks a man for help, or if a man says he's gonna help in a certain area and he doesn't, and it falls through, she's still left there to figure it out and still get the blame because you trusted him.
Yeah. See, that's why like as like a black woman, it's so hard to like trust because you put your trust into someone, and then if that falls through, then you're left to pick up the pieces and figure everything else out. So
yeah, like I had
trust factors come from that matter.
I had a friend. I was in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey, you coming through?" He's like, "Yeah, what time?" I was like, "We talked and agreed it was gonna be 8. 8 o'clock came and went, and heard nothing from him." But so and they don't matter to me. I mean, I'm not offended by it. I know you got a life.
Yeah.
I know you got things going on. But if I put that beside a woman that depends on a man for something, and that's an issue that we have in our community, especially not even I was gonna say especially with younger black people, but it can be at any age where we don't follow through on what we say we're gonna do.
Yeah, but you know what's so weird? They're always like on time for the dates. So like
at the beginning,
at the beginning in the dating phase. Oh, I'm gonna pick you up at 8. They're there at like 7:45.
Yeah.
They drop you back home within a reasonable amount of time.
Right.
And the next date, they be right there.
Yeah, that's like my hoodie. He gave me the first. My first hoodie was ready when I came.
The trial period is good.
Then when you actually get into it, bruh.
So
where my hoodie at, bro? That's messed up though, for real.
It is.
But that's the problem. That's a reason that, like you said, that's a reason for a woman not to trust a man, because if I let you do it, and this is the hardest part, because it's like, oh, you have to let your shield down sometimes. Sometimes you gotta let your guard down. You gotta allow somebody to help you.
Yeah.
If allow yourself to be helped, allow yourself to do, and that's a big reason why I do so much by myself. Like I roll a lot by myself, because and I've always had this thing, even even in elementary, I used to get in trouble at home because I used to always get an S- or an N at works well with others. And it was because, like, bro, I'm not gonna depend on you. If we got this group project, I'm not gonna depend on you to do your part if I know you. I mean, if it's gonna affect my grade.
You know what that is?
What?
I can do bad all by myself mentality.
Right, but and that it definitely is true. As I can do bad all by myself, but if I do bad, at least I don't have to.
You can recover from yourself,
no,
but to recover from somebody else.
No, if I do bad, I know I can blame myself, and it's definitely 100% my fault.
Yeah.
But if I trust you and you fail me, then I have to pick up the pieces, and I have to deal with the fact that I failed by trusting you, and then everybody else is looking at me like I failed 100% when it was actually more like 75%, 25%. 75%, you said you was going to do this. You said you were going to help me in this area. You fell through, but because you fell through, it made me fail, and now I'm the one that's got 100% of the blame, when 75% of it was you saying you were going to do this, and if you had done it, I would be in a better position.
Yeah.
That's why black women don't need a man, because if I gotta wait on you to do something that you said you were gonna do, and then you don't do it, now I'm left with everything to have to pick up the pieces, and I'm at 100% fault, because nobody really cares that you didn't show up.
Yeah.
They only care that my child is still at the daycare because you said you were gonna pick him up. Don't nobody care where you at. But the woman has to do, all right, now I gotta get off work, I gotta go I gotta go pick up my child. Now I gotta take hours off of work. Now because I took hours off of work, I can't pay the light bill because I'm $50 short because I had to take those hours off. And now I gotta ask my mama for help, and she looking at me like I'm stupid. You need to pay your bills? Wait, he said he was gonna do this. He fell through, but it's my fault because I can't pay my bill because I had to get out of work because you didn't pick her up. Like,
Yeah.
it's better. It's better for me to do it all by myself and know that what I can do, I did, and what I couldn't do, I didn't commit to, or I just chose, or I just fell through in that area. Than for me to be not only behind, but now I have trust issues.
Yeah.
I don't. If I don't ask you for nothing, I don't have to trust you for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I trust you and you fail, now I'm doubly hurt because the whole thing failed and I can't trust you.
Yeah.
That's number 3 of why black women don't need a man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that one?
That's good.
I told you would like some of this. Some of this stuff is true.
Maybe.
And it's what we correlate between the black community. Like even with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders left the black college, HBCU, because of their disorganization.
Yeah.
To go to another larger college.
Mm-hmm.
But they're blaming him, and I partially do blame. I partially would blame him, and I don't blame him because I really wish you could have just stayed.
It's all about progression, though. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to step out the box and.
But it's the same thing,
build
though.
Another box.
He trusted them to put up to their word that if we sell this many tickets, we get this much kickback. But this many we had butts in the seats, but where's the kickback? So now I trusted you to do this. He trusted the HBCU to pay on this end. So he could have made a guarantee to do something else in another financial area, but because the HBCU failed, he failed to do what he was already planning to do.
Yeah, and you can't have people holding you back. So
exactly.
Yeah. Keep on keeping on.
Yo, comment. Tell me what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I just delirious? Very possible. Very possible. Should we go into number 4? Do we have time? No, I think I'm just gonna leave it at number 3.
Yeah.
Cause I want to talk one more thing though.
Mm-hmm. If you do want to see number 4, definitely stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe, tell somebody about it, and we'll give you more.
Yes. And stop telling these women it's their fault because they picked him. Yeah. It is their fault.
Just like I was saying, they show up. The trial period is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Trial period is perfect. When you actually get in that membership, it's like.
But it
wasn't like
yeah,
this.
you can. It's
got to
be
Prime.
longer. It's got to be longer.
It's like Prime nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they said 2-day shipping? Now it takes like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
that's just what it's like. Prime is failing me.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be different though. It's some people. I guess you could say some men are able to hide the failures or hide the faults for longer periods of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be in a relationship with somebody for 2 years.
You put the blindfold on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, okay. Now that I've said something that actually most women would probably agree with, let's flip it to the other side.
What you got?
This you guys are gonna hate this one. This is what I call the truth behind my body, my choice.
Mm-hmm.
So, Christian Rock. I don't know if you know who that is. Mm-hmm. Christian Rock, Blueface's girlfriend. She was on an episode. I think it was a couple weeks ago. And she made some comments. What episode was this on?
That's a show with I forgot her name. It's a girl that says she only bathes like a couple
Okay.
times a week.
I knew the name. Um, I think it's Hollywood Unlocked.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
So she was on there, and I'm just gonna let it play.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah. That's it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you
no.
went out. What did y'all do last night?
No, I still do feel sick. I think it's, I don't know.
Drink some ginger ale.
Right. But
What's wrong? What do you feel?
nauseous.
Oh,
Mm,
okay, okay. You so cute. You
so
a little
cute.
baby. How old are you?
Hopefully it's like something else, not something else.
Krishan.
What?
Stop
I'm being
playing.
dead ass.
Don't play like that.
I'm not playing. I really, it took me forever to do my face in the car.
Do you normally get nauseous?
No, unless car sick, but I'm not in no car. I still,
Oh my gosh.
So are you pregnant?
Girl, I don't know.
Give me a minute to figure it out.
Yeah, give me a minute to figure it out.
All right. We ain't gonna talk about that. All right. Let's do an icebreaker.
Well, I can't
Okay.
wait though.
Icebreaker.
If I have a baby, I'm keeping it this time.
This time.
Jesus.
What? I
Well, that's
killed like
good.
3 of them.
Okay,
That's
Krishan, wait.
What?
not
I'm
there yet.
ready now.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, you always have that bad feeling like, it's not right.
It's not the right time.
You think it's the right time now?
I wouldn't mind if
But
it
do
was
you
right
think
now.
it's the right time?
Yeah.
You think it's the right time?
No, I need a ring, but you're right.
All right.
Okay, you speaking that
So
spiritual
let's slow
shit.
down.
Okay.
Let's
You
slow down a
understand
little
right
bit.
now. But
I'm just asking.
but if it happened, I ain't
I'm not-
stopping it happen. So
But
yeah.
but if it is it the right time?
No,
Yeah.
because
Do
I'm
you
not
think it would make
Mm-mm,
do you
I'm
think
not
it would make
married.
things better or worse?
Keep the mic
the
close.
way God is gonna be better, but like
Better for who? You
me,
or your relationship?
everything.
Everything.
It's tied to me.
Just in life.
Attached to me, yeah.
You think
So yeah. 3 times. So, this is what I believe is the truth behind my body, my choice.
Mm-hmm.
We always the news and everybody always wants to like when you said, oh, if a parent could die, we jump to the most extreme portion of the argument that would justify
Mm-hmm.
what we really want to, what we're trying to hide. So they always talk about they always talk about or complications or assault.
Mm-hmm.
Complications or assault, and they always jump to those two things. Like we're always trying to just focus on those things. So I want to say, if we were to say 100% that if there is complications or forced intercourse,
Mm-hmm.
then it's legal,
Mm-hmm.
completely fully legal to terminate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that's true. Let's say that ended up being written in law across the entire United States.
Mm-hmm.
What next do we need to address? And I think I believe that this is the part that we're trying not to address, is the fact that there are women that use termination as their final choice of birth control.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. She's not the only one. She didn't get to that conclusion on her own. Somebody could told her about it. Oh, I'm in this situation. Oh, girl, just take care of it, and you ain't got.
That might have been the first time.
Yeah.
Second and the
But
third
no,
time.
but I'm saying, yeah. Once you get that advice for the first time, the second and the third time, of course, that's what you're gonna resort to because that's what you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
So she probably doesn't even know like proper birth control, and like
Nah,
IUD,
she know what a
No.
condom is.
Of course, she probably knows that because that's what he uses. But as
Obviously
it
not.
pertains to her body,
I think she know birth. I think she know what birth control
I
is
highly
too.
doubt that she knows about a IUD and how if you have it in place, it can
They got money.
it can protect you from that. That doesn't mean you're smart.
Okay.
Does not mean you're smart.
I know.
She seems like She needs like guidance. Like the people that's around her are. You see how they primed her to get that information out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you nauseous? Oh, why you nauseous?
Nah,
Why
she
do you
would.
think you nauseous? And of course, she's very forthcoming because
She don't care.
She
She
doesn't.
says she don't care.
She doesn't.
And the recording after that, she's like, I don't care.
She doesn't. And but they made it. They made it for her. They made it comfortable for her to say that.
Yeah.
If in a point of that, they made her uncomfortable to say, yes, I want a child out of wedlock, and that's why she primed her. Are you sure? Are you sure you're ready for that? Oh no, of course I'm gonna wait till I'm married. So they consciously did that. So
I think they were trying. I think they were trying to not get her to say some of that stuff.
they were, but it in.
But she showed the truth, and that's what That's why. Look, I'm so glad that she said it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she said it because we need. That's what we need to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We need to talk about the fact that a lot of women are using termination as birth control, and I really. Why do you think nobody in the media wants or actually addresses that part? Why do you think it always goes to the furthest end of assault or complications?
Because that's the people that's fighting for it. The people that actually want or need for that to be in place. Those people that just go out and do it, they don't care. They don't care about nothing. They're not gonna go out there and say, "Oh, my rights, my rights needs to be protected." They're not gonna actually go out there and make the effort to do that.
Megan said her body, her choice.
Yeah, but she's educated. She went to school and stuff like that, so she
That's
knows.
my point.
So she knows better. The people that are not educated, you don't see them out there. You see the people that you see that are fighting for that are people that it actually pertains to.
I don't know.
You don't see the people that's out there that uses termination as a form of birth control. Oh, I need this for my rights. You're not gonna tell me what and what not to do. No, it's the people that's actually suffered through miscarriages and threatened pregnancies, or a lot of the victims that were on there were people that were victims of some type of sexual activity, and they were out there protesting for that reason. But you don't see the group that gathers together that chooses that as a form of birth control, saying my rights, my choice, I'm fighting for this. They don't fight for anything. They just go with the flow because as it shows, they're not caring that that's their form of birth control. They don't.
I think they care about my body, my choice.
They don't.
Let me tell you why I think they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think, especially for us, I think people like Megan Thee Stallion and other women like her want my body, my choice because they want to live that free lifestyle. Megan Thee Stallion, we see what's happening with her and Tory Lanez. She wants that free lifestyle. There's a lot of educated women that want that freedom to do what they want to do and not have those consequences. The fact that, like, even during the trial, when she said, like, on that interview with what's her name? I forgot that reporter's name. That she said she had no relations with Tory Lanez, no physical relations with Tory Lanez, and then at the very beginning of the trial, they said she did have a physical relationship with him. Her and other women like her, educated women that are trying to succeed in life, that are trying to climb up the corporate ladder, or trying to be successful in their business, and all of that stuff, are still using that because they have that freedom lifestyle until it actually comes up to the results of your freedom. The results of your freedom, now you want to terminate. They want the my body, my choice because they want to terminate. And that's why we are the second minority class now, or minority group, and not the first. Black Americans were here since slavery, and we were here after slavery. We were having 9 and 10 children. Now once we got those freedom rights to be able to do things like termination, we have become a smaller community. We have become the second minority group from immigrants that migrated here after we were free from slavery. So we're the second minority group because my body, my choice, and the fact that we're not married.
That plays a big role into it, because if people use my body, my choice as a crutch, but as I stated before, you're not gonna see the people that's actually using using that as a form of birth control out there fighting for it. They just do what they want to do, and they just go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
They're not actually out there fighting.
And a lot of people don't think about the underlying effects of the removal of Roe versus Wade was also partly, or I'm not gonna say like it was in something really big, but underlying effects is the fact that the population is declining as a whole. And if we see that Hispanics are living life a certain kind of way, where they're increasing themselves, one house at a time, eventually the Hispanics and those that are migrating north are going to end up being the majority.
Well, they will outpace. In their defense, if that's how it's going, don't you think they'll make everything better? Because if they're the ones that's building the country, don't you think they're building it for the better?
Why wouldn't they have built it down there?
Because they don't have as much opportunity down there.
That's because they won't take out the cartel.
Who gonna take them people down?
Like,
who gonna take them people down?
You know what? That just made. I never thought of that. If this many people are willing to come up here to migrate, why won't that many people just pile up against the cartel and their corrupt governments and change things in their own community? I don't know. If they're doing it for their children, then do that for your children. Does it go deeper?
A lot deeper.
How much deeper? And I only say that because there, like I remember I was in Korea and they had an entire march. I was out in the city, and there was a march one night. They marched until they ousted their president, and the president removed, and then they put somebody else. There's countries that they do the work. Yeah. Iran and their whole the women's movement. There are countries where the women or the people
they just
do the work. I know. Yeah. But there's the doing the work. We lost Martin Luther King. We lost Malcolm X. We lost a lot of people. But it takes work in that area. You can't just migrate somewhere else. Well, obviously you can. But in order to make a change in your community, you have to stay there. You can't just leave. Deion Sanders. I'm just saying. You can't just leave and expect somebody else to do it.
You can't stay boxed in.
You can't stay boxed in.
Sometimes you have to leave, progress, and then go back and make
Who's going back? Don't nobody go back.
Some people do. Some people go back and they make a change. But
if that was the case, things would be different. That's what I'm saying. I don't think enough people aren't going back because things are not improving. Not enough people are going back because things are not improving. So stay there, improve it, and do it for everybody. Wants to see new and better for right now. Instead of seeing new and better or planting the seed for the new and better for next generations, they want to see it right now.
I don't agree with that. Because how can you look at somebody in a impoverished community or situation and say, stay right here. Try to make it better. Do everything you can to make it better. You can't do it alone.
No, you can't. But you can't. What I'm saying is the fact that they got that many people migrating up, they're doing caravans. Like, caravan all the way to the cartel and demolish their whole thing. They ain't got that many people. Cartel ain't got that.
That's like trying to turn over a trap house.
if enough people came to turn that trap house over,
and
it would work.
And then it's more bloodshed because you turn over that trap house. And then
guess what? There was a lot of bloodshed in the whatchamacallit, the War of Independence. What? Yeah. There's a lot of bloodshed in that. There's a lot of bloodshed in the Civil War. Bloodshed. Who was it? There was somebody. There was. I don't know. I don't want to misquote. But somebody was talking about. I think it. Something about freedom. I'm gonna look that up. Something about freedom is won by blood. Dang it! If I was prepared for this conversation, I didn't know it was gonna go this way. But the price of freedom is paid in blood. That might have been it. But yeah. So the price of freedom is paid in blood. So if you're willing to risk your entire life and drag your kids across a river,
and a lot of them don't make it.
Exactly. So why not put forth the effort to join up a whole caravan and take your country back?
It takes more effort on that end than it is to.
No, I think it's those hundreds of thousands of people that are thinking about self.
But you have to have the resources. You can't just make it out of thin air.
They traveling thousands of miles. Resources. They getting it
when they
for
get
that.
Here, when they get here, they
no.
get
But you don't. But it takes months to travel up.
Yeah.
So where you're getting food from somewhere, they're not just walking for months with no food, and then finally they get here and they got food.
Of course.
We give them food. So I'm saying I think it's because thousands of people, thousands of adults are thinking specifically for themselves and their children.
For the betterment of them.
Exactly. Yeah. Instead of y'all thinking, hey, if we get some people to take the kids here, and we as a people take our country back here. That's the issue with us here in America too. Even us as black people. We're so busy trying to build just this small hut for our family, and then everybody else, they ain't worried about them. They get it how they get it. Some of there's some crabs in the bucket, but there's some crabs that get out the bucket and don't reach back for nothing. Yeah. Oh, I did it. They can do it too. If Harriet Tubman and Booker T. Washington would have done that, we especially in terms of Booker T. Washington, we might not have had the Emancipation Proclamation. He was a black advisor to Abraham Lincoln, and he left. He left and he was trying to escape from being recaptured. Went to Great Britain. Then they paid for his freedom from the people that was in Great Britain paid for his freedom, and then he came back. We leaving
in order to.
I know, but ain't nobody coming back. Ain't nobody coming back.
It's too much work.
And exactly, it's too much work, and I worked hard to get my family here. I ain't got time. Like everybody, just like, I need to relax.
That's it.
But you see Booker T. Washington? You see how much gray hair he had in them photos? Like, anyway.
That's where they get that from.
Anyway, I got all off the topic. Our last topic, and then we out. All right, and this is important because it goes with that. It goes with the Christian rock. It goes with the Megan Thee Stallion. It goes with the pretty much black women. And I've always had this thing because we want black men to come to support our communities. We want black men to help fix the community and stand up and teach our young and all of this other things. But I had this big issue because I've always been thinking like why there not enough successful women going back and teaching the young women how to get out of how to prevent themselves from ending up in a single mother household. Yeah. And then I found out why. I was watching something else talk about Christian rock, and this was Mr. J Hill's network podcast, and he had Just Hilarious the comedian.
Yeah.
He had Just Hilarious on there, and they brought up the conversation about Christian Rock, and this is what she said.
She from Baltimore.
Krishan Rock. I
Krishan
definitely
Rock.
was raised to say something about that. Because I was about to jump in her DM and tell her, look, yo, what you doing? It ain't it. But to be honest with you, Shorty is young. Shorty is from here. She done seen, she done been through some, and nothing that I tell her right now will matter because she's in it. She's getting the most money that she's ever gotten before. She got it to her that love her. Somebody taking care of her. Her dream is to be a ride or die. I can't change her. That's her dream right now. Her dream is not even to be what she is, a gymnast, a talented, gifted ass gymnast. This could be an athlete. She can do whatever the she want to do. She chooses to do this. Her dream is to be a ride or die. Let her be that until she realizes she's worth more. Until she realizes who she really is. She's so young right now, nothing I tell her. She gonna look at what I say. Oh, she hating on me. I wouldn't be surprised if she tell me, get you a blue face. I pray for her.
And that in a bucket. All put that all together. Christian Rock, what she does. This is why. This is why women do not hold other women accountable.
Sometimes she was right. Sometimes you can't tell people about themselves.
She is right.
They're not very receptive in certain situations.
This is where women have gotten. This is where women have learned something that us men don't understand. Especially women have learned. Women have learned that you can't tell a woman that is on what she wants to do. You can't tell her nothing because she ain't gonna hear it. All she gonna do is say you hating on her.
Yeah. It's just gonna sound like an alarm.
Mm-hmm.
You know how your alarm go off in the morning and it's like,
yeah,
that's what it's gonna sound like.
And it's that's why women can't hold. That's why women can hold other women accountable. That's why they don't. Remember, those relationship coaches. All of those relationship coaches. Ivana Fix My Life. Ayana Van Zant. Yeah. And other relationship coaches, and they saying, "Oh, women don't care." Women, you cannot tell a woman who has fixed in her mind what she believes. You can't tell her she's wrong.
That goes for men too, because you can't. If if anybody has something made up in their mind as right, you can't go to them and present facts as wrong, even if it's facts, opinions.
Yeah.
It's gonna sound like rubbish.
Yeah, but I'm saying why women don't hold women accountable.
Because
y'all know that it ain't gonna matter.
Because they have to be in a point of.
They gotta be at a point that, just like she said, just like Just Hilarious just said, until they reach a point. But that point is already past them having whatever, how many, having kids, having their heart broken, all of this stuff. And it's not even. You're right. It's not just women. It is men, because I was like that as a kid. But even when we try to teach our kids stuff, it's like when I start talking, like trying to have real conversations with them, they be like, "Oh my God."
But sometimes they come back to you and be like,
yeah. But that's like, I've even tried it with my sister, and I realized, like I said, I got 4 sisters, and I realized years ago, like, if it's something that they got going on in their life, unless they ask me, I'm just gonna love on them, hug them, because you can't get somebody to do something that they don't want. I remember it was something my sister was having an issue with her husband at the time, and I was like, well, you need to this. And she looked, the way she looked at me, like, I'm thinking she gonna be like, yeah, you right. She looked at me in a certain kind of way, and I was like, you ain't gonna worry about me saying nothing no more. Whatever go on in y'all marriage, whatever go on in your life, I'm cool. I love you. You love me. And I'll hug you. And if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But I ain't gonna say nothing to her. And that's how women have learned to do, even with y'all friends. Like, if you
men should only men out. It's just like football.
I know, but here's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get men to understand. Yeah. That's the only reason I'm saying. I'm trying to get men to understand, because they always. I've heard a lot in the YouTube community and other communities where women have a problem with accountability, and women don't hold other women accountable.
Just
and
think
they
of
say
it this way. It's like football. You know how in football they have where you play your positions, and you have to communicate with that other person, and you throw the ball for the next person to catch it.
Yeah.
If they're not ready to catch that pass, it's gonna be a fumble.
Yeah.
So you have to know that you throwing that pass, it's gonna fumble.
Yeah.
But sometimes the next time you throw it, they're looking for it, and then they catch it.
Here's the other part though, and I didn't even think about this till right now, but I realized, and I was like, that's a good point. I have to talk about it. I have to say it. The other part, and here's where the problem is. Here's where the problem is with women.
Yeah.
Women won't say the negative things to hold another woman accountable, but they'll give her praise. No. Yes, girl, you doing it. Oh yeah, that dress looks great. Come on. You can't tell Lizzo her dress looks great. I mean, you can say the dress looks great, but not on her.
Some women. I don't have no problem telling people, you sure
yeah,
about that?
But what I'm saying is that, okay, prime example, at the beginning of it, well, not at the beginning, but earlier in this episode, you said, when you announced, when we were talking about Keke Palmer, you said, congratulations, yay. Keke Palmer is not married. She don't even seem like she wants to be married. Barely have any conversation about her significant other. But we're saying, yay. That's what I'm saying. We'll give the praise, but not the correction. Because we know she ain't gonna listen to the correction, but she'll receive the praise. Yeah. We only giving what we know they'll receive, even when we know that what we're giving them probably ain't good for them. That's the problem.
Who's to say marriage is for everybody? It's not for everybody.
But but it's not for everybody. But we know there is to be said that, as we discussed,
of a parent
there should be a two parent household has a greater possibility of success for that child.
A 2-parent household that works.
Yes.
Because some of them don't work.
That's why I said a greater possibility. Not a guarantee, but a greater possibility.
But you know me, I like to look at the full picture.
Yeah.
And bring in the fullness.
Yeah.
But so I don't disagree, but I'm just saying, like, you have to think of other concepts that can play a part into it.
Yes. And no.
Because if you think like, hey, 2-parent household is the best way to go.
It is.
And you got two people that's bumping heads, or you have domestic violence. You have one person has like.
But you adding those things like in that could cause.
That doesn't always work.
Okay, but if I say you have a 90, if I say you got a 75% chance of making it to the grocery store if you take this route, because it has less potholes and there's no construction, so you probably won't run over a nail. Or if I say you have a 35% chance of making it to the grocery store if you take this route, except you gotta go over train tracks and there's construction and there's potholes. We can say that more than likely you would prefer to go with the 75% chance than the 35% chance. There's 35% chance you could get there without hitting any potholes or running over any nails. But there's a 75% chance that you could get there if you take the better route. Can we agree that the 75% chance is a better route than the 35% chance route?
Of course.
That's all I'm saying is people, and if we know that somebody has an understanding of the 75% chance and the 35% chance, we have to say that you probably didn't make a good decision by going with a 35% chance because you have a 40% likelihood. You have the 40% less likelihood of being successful. That's all I'm saying. But this is a great conversation. We talked a lot about a lot of stuff, and we gave a lot of things for you guys to talk about. So please make some comments so we can talk about it. What do you think about everything? What do you think about Congress? What do you think about the president? What do you think about immigration? What do you think about Keke Palmer? What do you think about why black women don't need men? What do you think about My Body, My Choice? Accountability. Did we talk? I mean, goodness. Like, if you watch this whole episode, you are awesome because we talked about a lot.
If you made it this far.
What do you think about football? What do you think about the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of it. Hey, we love you guys. Thanks for watching us.
Yes. Well, thank you for watching. We are
Black Press.
Come back again. We have episodes coming and streaming up soon.
Oh yeah.
And make sure you stay subscribed so you know when we have a new episode out.
And hit the bell for notifications.
As always, like, comment, subscribe. We love you and thank you for watching.
And we are out.